Crafty Monsters. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is fabulous. So, in today's fabulous tutorial, we are going to be making a cute little Halloween embellishment and also some little sequence holders. These little tiny bottles that we purchased. We're going to go ahead and decorate these little bad boys with some little embellishments, and the reason why we're doing that is because we're getting ready to do a cute little Halloween Happy Mail, because we're still doing Happy Mail, guys. I mean, the pandemic didn't stop that, boo-boo. People say that we shouldn't be sending each other stuff, but I mean, like, I think, you know, you have to be selective on who you're sending something or receiving something from. So, I mean, this is a really, really close friend of mine, so hey, we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and make some embellishments and, like I said, some little sequence holders. And so that's the craft that we're going to do today. So I'm not going to keep rambling, my little crafty monsters, because I know you guys want to get down and dirty, boo-boo. So let's get down to dirties and let's make these little bad boys, and I will see you in a bit. Alrighty then, my little crafty monsters, let's get down and dirty and make these little bad boys right here. So this is the supplies that we are going to be using. Now we're going to be using one of these stamp sets, not all three of them. These stamp sets, we purchased them at Michael's, and these paper packs were given to me by a very dear friend of mine, Teresa. She sent me a bunch of stuff about a year ago. And she sent me a bunch of paper packs and like stickers and like all kinds of goodies. But these are the paper packs that we are going to be using. They're like a vintage Halloween and stuff. We're also going to be using one of my 12 by 12. And this paper pack, I did purchase this one at Z Michael's. And this was purchased, I believe, about a year or two ago. It's been kind of a while. So we're just looking for DSP paper that we can go ahead and use for the rosettes, and I liked this little pumpkin one, so we're gonna go ahead and use that for the rosettes. And I'm just showing you that there's a little mini one, but so I'm gonna use this one that says trick or treat. We're gonna go ahead and use that as a little center circle that's gonna go in the very middle of that. I was looking to see if there was any other ones that I could probably like, well, that I would like, but no, I just thought this was good enough. And so all I'm doing right here is I'm just, you know, just evening out this paper. We're just cutting off that little white tab that's on the very top. And then now we're going to go ahead and cut strips. The strips are 1.5 inches by 12, and that's a 12 by 12 paper. So you just have to cut 1.5 inches, and it's 2 strips per rosette. So you definitely have to have 2 strips per rosette. And it's, like I said, 1.5 inches. Now, if you want them to be a little bit bigger, you could go ahead and do 2 inches, 2.5 inches. It's really up to you guys. You guys are in control right here. So after we cut the strips, we're going to go ahead and need our score tool. I mean, our scoreboard. Jesse doesn't want to talk. Just ignore him. So the scoreboard, and we're going to go ahead and score our strips that are for the rosettes, and we're going to score those every 1/2 inch. Now you could go 1 inch. Now if you go 1 inch, they're going to be a little bit thicker, but if you go 1/2 inch, it's going to be just the right size. Trust me, little crafty monsters. So go ahead and just score your little strips to 1/2 inch all the way down along the whole entire strip. Then after that comes the fun part, and that is putting them together and turning these little suckers into rosettes. And so go ahead and just continue scoring your little score tool, and I mean your little strip of DSP paper. Maybe I should just shut up. How about that? Obviously he can't talk today. So the way I always start these is I always start mountain valley, if that makes any sense. So I start the first one going down, and then I just continue folding all of the little accordion style paper, and this is gonna turn these into rosettes, in case you guys didn't know. But yeah, and so just continue folding all of your little strips, and then we're gonna go ahead and just glue them. This is many ways of how to glue these rosette strips together. You guys just glue them however you want. I just do from one end to another end, and I just smack them together. Some people like to kind of put one of those little mountains on top of another mountain and just secure it that way, but I mean, I've never had a problem. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just continue gluing these little bad boys like this, and it doesn't really take that long because that tacky Eileen's glue is the best. You guys, if you have been following me for whatever amount of time you've been following me, you guys have noticed that this is my go-to glue. See, this is what I'm telling you. Something is happening to Jesse right now. His brain is fried. Anyways, so now we need a little silicone mat. The silicone mat will make your life a lot more easier when you're going to be making rosettes. Just put a glob of glue in the very middle, bring that rosette together, and you'll squish it together. When you squish it together, you'll notice that some of that glue will start to seep out to the very top, and that's perfect. That's what you want, because you could just fold over the corner of your little silicone mat like I am doing, and you just wait until it dries, and it kind of just does a good seal on the back and the front of these little rosettes. And so this has been my method for quite a few years already. This is not my idea. This was I don't know how many crafters ago probably came up with this idea to use a silicone mat, but I've been using this for a few years. And if you've noticed in my videos on other rosette tutorials, you'll know that I've been using this method for a while. So right here I'm just using some of my little circle decorative dies, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut out a few circles. One of the circles, I'm gonna cut it out of this black tool, which is gonna give it that little pop of, you know, shimmer and glitter and all that stuff. Right here I just got a little 1.5 inch hole puncher, and I'm just punching 2 white circles, and the reason why I'm doing that is just to give these rosettes a base. So we're just putting a base in the back of these little guys, and then it's time to start cutting our little circles so that we can start layering these rosettes. And I'm going to use this paper right here. Jesse forgot to put the cutting mat on the bottom, but he just realized that now, so there we go. I'm telling you, we are off our game right now. So just go ahead and cut whatever circles. If you guys don't have dies, you could definitely use paper punches or whatever it is that you guys want to use. In this case, I do have some circle dies, and they're decorative. These have like, they poke a little hole all around the circle. There's one that does a little zigzag at the very end. And I mean, there's just so many different little dies out there nowadays. And this is that black glitter tool that I'm telling you. I'm going to go ahead and run that about 4 times. And the reason why I do that is because it is material and I do want it to really cut. And so that's going to give it that little pop of color in the very back, and it actually has glitter, so it's going to also give it that little shimmer. So we're going to go ahead and do that 4 times, and then we'll go ahead and start gluing these little bad boys onto the rosettes. This part is my favorite part, is the actual decorating. So yeah. I just put down a little bit of hot glue, and I went ahead and I put that little glitter tool in the back, and then I put that little circle in the very front. The circle kind of works as also as a sentiment, my little crafty monsters, because that DSP paper does have words, and it says trick or treat all through that whole little circle. So I mean, that is also kind of, it works like a little sentiment. So these are little rosettes, and these are the stamp sets that we're going to go ahead and use. And right here I'm just trying to see how big of a paper I have to cut to make these little specimen tags, which come on this little stamp set from Michaels. Oh my god, I'm so in love with this little stamp sets that I got. So this one, we're gonna go ahead and just stamp that on some 110 pound cardstock, and we're gonna go ahead and stamp a few of them because Jesse is going to be using these for other projects. And I love that little stamp set because it's just a little, kind of like a little specimen label, and it'll say like specimen number, it says the date, and it also says the name. So you could have a lot of fun with this, guys. You could put any date that you guys want. You guys could put any name on the specimen, or you guys could like, I mean, you guys could just go all out, I mean, on this. And so I'm going to go ahead and use another stamp from this same stamp set to kind of just pull this whole entire little embellishment together. You guys will see. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do this last one. Like I said, I'm doing a few of them because I will be using them for future projects. And I just wanted you guys to see how quick and easy it was to go ahead and stamp a few of them. I think I did like 7 of these little labels is what came out on that little strip. So always clean your guys' stamps to keep them nice and healthy and ready for the next use. And so on this little stamp is so cute because it's this little glass container. I don't want to call them a beaker because it's not a beaker, but it's a glass little container, and there's 3 little skulls in there, but the little skulls look really kind of like funny. So I kind of named this whole little sentiment, the specimen, I named them aliens because they look like little aliens. And in this part, I'm going to go ahead and stamp this on some mixed media paper. You guys saw the mixed media that I used. The reason why we're using this paper is because we are going to be using some watercolor markers, and we do not want the paper to get ruined. You know, when you add water to paper and you start rubbing it, it kind of starts getting a little bit messed up. So you definitely don't want that to happen. And so right here, we're just going to go ahead and now pull out our little Tombow watercolor markers, and we're going to go ahead and just give these a little pop of color because we can't just leave them. I mean, you could leave them black and white like that, but it would just look so much better if you guys add a little bit of color. And when you do, you guys will realize what I'm talking about. It is super duper cute. Like I said, this stamp set is at Z Michaels, and they were on sale about 2 weeks ago, which was when I purchased them. And they were, I believe, 40% off. So they were $9.99 regular price, and I think I got them for like 5 something. So I think that was a really, really good deal. Not to mention these are new stamps, and we don't have these stamps, so definitely need these. So all I'm doing right here is I'm adding a tan color, and then I'm picking it up with that colorless marker and just blending it all so it has that high and the lows. And then for the glass part, I'm just going to touch it with a little bit of baby blue. This is in the pastel color palette, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the edges because I'm going to go ahead and use that colorless marker to go ahead and pick that color up and kind of like fill in the rest of the areas, just kind of making this look like if it's a glass, and just giving it a little bit of more color just so that it pops out and it's not just a regular black and white paper. And then after we're finished coloring these little bad boys, we're going to go ahead and fussy cut these. And I love to use my Tim Holtz scissors. These are my little tiny scissors that I love to use because they make fussy cutting so much easier. And if you guys are like, oh my god, I don't like fussy cutting and this and that, little crafty monsters, sit your little butt down and let me tell you something. It is so relaxing. Just go ahead and cut out, stamp a bunch of little images that you guys need for projects, and then sit down in front of the TV, grab your really good scissors because you need some sharp ones in order for this to work really good. And just remember, guys, you're never going to move your scissors. Your scissors stay in the same position the whole entire time. The key to doing a really good fussy cut is you move the paper. The paper is the only thing that moves, if you guys notice. I don't move my scissors at all. I mean, they move a little bit, but it's mostly all of the paper. And that will give you such a clean and awesome little cut. Now, if you guys are fancy, like the little fancy crafters that some of you are, maybe you have a silhouette, you guys could go ahead and use your silhouette to cut all of your little stamps. Or, if you're using a stamp with a die set, well, then there you go. You can go ahead and just cut it with the die. But Jesse obviously doesn't have a die for these stamps, so we're just going to go ahead and fussy cut them. I don't ever really have a problem with fussy cutting. I love fussy cutting. And like I said, it's really relaxing. I like to sit in front of the TV and I just cut away, listening to the TV. So right here, I'm going to use the bigger scissors, same brand from Tim Holtz, and we're going to go ahead and just cut out these little labels. Now, I do sound like a commercial, but none of these companies are sponsoring me, so I am not getting paid for this, my little crafty monsters. Well, not for the scissors and stuff, but other stuff I am. But anyways, so we're going to go ahead and just go through some of these little things that I have, and none of them called my attention. So I'm going to figure something out, but we're not going to go ahead and leave these like completely just with those two items in the front. Trust me. I'm going as we go. So right here, I'm just writing the little inside the little specimen label, which is super duper cute. And I put today's date, and I went ahead and I named the specimen aliens. So that's what that little tag, what I was writing on there. And I'm just going to go ahead and position this in a way where it's like, bam, right there, boo boo, but it's not blocking my little stamp that we just worked so hard to make. You definitely don't want to cover that. So I'm just using regular Eileen's glue to attach this because it's paper on paper, and I know that I put glue throughout the whole entire little image, but whatever corner of that rosette touches it, it will hold on to it, trust me. So then after we do this, I'm going to go ahead and just glue the little specimen label on the front of this little bad boys right here, and we're using Eileen's glue on that one too. But we're going to go ahead and kind of like add a little bit of the black soot to the edges of these labels, and this is just to make them look a little bit more dirtier, a little bit more Halloweeny, if that's even a word. Is Halloweeny a word? Yes, it is. Don't judge me, guys. It's a word. And so we're gonna go ahead and just distress this. You guys already know Jesse loves distressing almost everything, especially when it comes to Halloween, because for some reason when you distress something in the Halloween project, it always makes it look more Halloweeny than it is. I mean, trust me. I've been doing this for years already. I've been crafting for over 15, 20 years, but I just started doing YouTube about a year and a half ago. So we're new with the YouTube, but very very experienced on the crafting. So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of like add a few more items. I'm looking for little items that I have. Now you guys just use what you got, guys. Just use what you got. Don't go out and buy new items, because you guys will know. Look at, like, Jesse has little bins and bins full of stuff. God dang little hoarder. So I'm just using a piece of paper because we're going to go ahead and add some E6000. The reason why I like using E6000 is because when I'm going to use something like that little mylar kind of plastic looking little confettis or whatever you want to call these, the table scatters, the E6000 seems to be the one to really hold these. I'm just actually dipping them very lightly, not too big, not too much, and I'm just adding them with the E6000. These are little spiders that we purchased at Walmart, and I believe we purchased these like 2 years ago. So I haven't seen them this year, so I don't think they have them anymore, but you can use any little item that you guys have. And I'm just adding these little items just to give the something else to look at, except for my little specimen container and the little label. I just want other things to be in there, and just to kind of give it color, to give it a little bit more of a shimmer. Those were kind of a metallic kind of looking items, so that kind of gives it also a little shimmer there. And this is this little organizer that my bestie Yahara made me, and she organized them by color because she knows I'm colorblind. And we're just going to go ahead and put one of those little eyeballs in the very center of this circle. That's also just to give it a little extra something as well, just so it's not just plain in the very middle. And I think that was actually enough. That was super duper cute for me. I'm really satisfied on how these look. We're going to go ahead and put those on the side, and we're going to go ahead and get started on making our little glitter tubes. And we're going to go ahead and decorate these. We're not going to get too crazy on these, but we will be decorating them. These ones, because they're super tiny, you don't really want to put too much decoration on them, but you want to put enough to kind of give them that little extra oomph. And what we're going to do here is, see how tiny they are? They're super duper cute. Yes, my little crafty monsters, we're going to make all 4 of them. Don't worry, little crafty monsters. So we're going to go ahead and fill these little bad boys up. I have this little funnel that I like to use. And these are these little metallic tubing confettis, I want to call them, that I picked up at, I believe it was that giant dollar store that I have nearby me. And I'm going to go ahead and just fill one of these tubes up with this silver one, which I think is really awesome because it's like super metallic, and it actually has that really nice sparkle to it. And so I'm going to go ahead and just lay that down so you guys could see it. And then this galaxy glitter. Oh my God, boo-boos. I love me this galaxy glitter that I purchased on my little hole in the wall in LA that I usually always go to. So we're going to go ahead and fill up one of these containers with that. And on the other containers, I wanted to fill them up with actual sequins, like little pumpkin sequins, a little Halloween sequins. But come to find out that those sequins were a little too big for the opening of that bottle, so we couldn't go ahead and do that. So I guess these bottles are just going to be all glitter and little sparkles stuff. And see, so we're going to go ahead and use these rings. I did purchase them at Z Dollar Tree, and we're going to go ahead and use them to decorate the front of these little bottles. You guys will see. I'm just going to go ahead and snip the ring part off and make them as flat as possible. These skeletons have a little curve to them, which were perfect to go around the little tube. It was like meant to be, my little crafty monsters. And again, I picked these up at Z Dollar Tree. So I went ahead and I just cut off all of the little plastic that is the ring part and just kept the little main part of it. So we're going to do 2 bats and 2 skulls, which I think is cute. This is the part where I realized that the sequence was too big for the opening of this bottle. So we're going to go ahead and fill it up with some black glitter, straight black glitter on one tube. And the other tube, we're going to go ahead and use, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's either blue or purple. I'm not really 100% sure, because Jesse's a little colorblind. And before we made this video, I forgot to ask Miguel what color that was. But we're going to go ahead and use the same. They're those little metallic little tubings that are into confetti now. I think are super duper cute. I'm not 100% sure what color this is, guys. I can't see the color, but we're going to go ahead and fill that up with this little container. I went with dark colors because I figured dark colors are Halloween colors. And, you know, it's going to look Halloweeny. So right here, we're using a washi tape. This washi tape is so cute. You guys really can't tell, but it's the dirt and little hands are coming out of the dirt. So it looks like a little cemetery kind of. And I'm going to go ahead and just go in the very center. And I'm going to go all the way around the whole little tube. And then we are going to use that like if it's kind of like a little belly band. And then we're going to go ahead and just add our little bat or our little skull in the front of these tubes. We're also going to go ahead and use some of that sequence ribbon that you guys have seen me pull out before. I believe it's sequence ribbon or sequence lace, whatever you guys want to call it, but it's sequency. And that's going to be glued to the very tops. So it just kind of gives it that little extra shimmer on the very top as well. And so once we go and get that, we could go ahead and start gluing this. I know you guys can't see this because it's kind of far away, but I really am loving how these tubes are coming out. And so this is that sequence ribbon that I'm telling you, and I'm going to go ahead and just wrap them around the very top of the caps. That's just also, like I said, to give it a little bit extra sparkle. And we're going to go ahead and just make sure that we line it up with the seam of our washi tape, so that the seam of that sequence ribbon and the seam of the washi tape will be in the back and the same side. That's just so that it could look a little bit neater, guys. So you're going to just go ahead and do that throughout the whole entire little 4 containers. And right here, I'm adding my little skull to the washi tape. I'm telling you guys can't see this really in person, but it looks cute. I actually want to keep them because they look almost like little potion bottles, but I'm not going to do that, my little crafty monsters. I am going to give them to the recipient I'm making them for. So that little special person's going to get some of this stuff. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just continue doing that and decorating these. And we are almost completely done, my little crafty monsters. And then you have your embellishments and you have your little glitter tubes. And you can go ahead and just attach those either to a little loaded bag that you're doing, a loaded envelope, or even a loaded box or whatever it is that you're doing. These are super cute. Or even if you're just giving them away as, you know, in a little Halloween treat box or whatever, that would be really cute to make some of these. You can make them any theme, as a matter of fact. You don't even have to make them a Halloween theme. They could be anything you want, my little crafty monsters. So we're almost done. This is our last little bad boy, and then we're gonna go ahead and glue this little bat on there, and we are going to be completely done with this project. This was super fast, super easy. I really loved how I put these together, and I want to keep those bottles. I'll make myself some more because I have 4 more right there, and I just bought 2 packs because I wanted to buy 2 packs, not that I needed it. So that second pack I'll probably just make some and just keep those and probably put them like in my little end table in the formal living room as like little potion bottles. I think that would look super cute. So This is it, my little crafty monsters.
My little crafty monsters. Welcome back. That's how easy it was to make those little bad boys. And I hope you guys try to make some little embellishments and some little sequence holders as well. And if you guys do, definitely share it with us on our social media at Facebook and Instagram, Paper to Masterpiece. We would love to see your creations and see what you guys come up with. And yeah. I mean, then everybody will get, like, you know, some creative ideas and stuff like that. And so, anywho, yeah, definitely share it with us. I would love to see your guys' stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Go ahead and hit that little icon. It's a picture of mine. We become BFFFFs, because I know BFs is good, boo-boo. I know it is, but BFFFF is even better. And I know you want to be my BFF. So, hit that little subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber, welcome back, boo-boo. Welcome back. But if you're not, you definitely do not want to be missing out, guys. And also hit that little bell icon, because that will notify you every time I upload a video, because we will be uploading more videos and you do not want to be missing out on that. So definitely hit the bell icon, give us a like and a thumbs up, because that will help our channel grow. And share and tell a friend, because your friends also need to know how fabulous these tutorials are. You guys cannot be keeping this a secret. Do not be selfish, boo-boo. Do not be selfish. This is not the time to be selfish. What about yourself? What about yourself? Definitely tell your friends. And that's it for now, my little crafty monsters. Until next time, goodbye.